so excited.
You see the room, it's different.
I know. I love what you
Taylor
did with
Moon's still
it.
in the back, but everything else is different.
Love it. Love it. So we'll talk about that some more in a little bit. But first
Yeah.
of all, I would like to welcome everybody who's watching. I'm so happy to be with you today. I am with a very, very special guest who's close to my heart. You see, I grew up with two sisters, but then when I married Toby, I gained many more. And Anna is one of them. So Anna is our baby sister, and she is in California, in LA. And I'm so glad that in your evening you have this time to spend with us today, Anna.
Yeah, I'm so
Uh,
excited. Thank you for having
my
me on.
pleasure, my pleasure. Would you
Yeah,
like to talk about a little bit about yourself, just to
sure.
introduce yourself?
So, I'm Anna. I'm the baby sister of the family. I'm the baby of the family, but I'm not really a baby anymore. I am 29. Oh, now I will be 30 next year. So excited. Although I really don't believe this year counts because of COVID. So I think I'm turning 29 next year. But it's okay. I'm 29 and I've worked most of my 20s in the makeup industry and the beauty industry as a salesperson. I started at Sephora and then I moved into a small business spa, which I was the manager, and then I moved back into a makeup artist role at Nordstrom for the past 3 years. So that's been a really fun journey.
Interesting, right? And for you guys who are watching, Anna, and that's one of the things Anna and I really love, playing with
Yeah.
makeup and just enjoying all the things that are available out there.
Like with beauty, I just feel like there's such an impact that you can make with your kindness through beauty.
Yeah.
I feel like the last few years that I've worked in retail, I have really seen how when you take a client and you make them feel very special, they feel special about themselves. And that is really why I've stayed in my industry for so long.
That's wonderful, Anna. And all this talk about self-care, about, taking care of ourselves. I think,
Yeah.
right, in the past, makeup had such, well, not such a negative perspective, but I guess
Yeah.
a little bit, just because people were
A little
saying,
intimidating. Yeah.
yeah, right. But then, you enhance somebody's look and then
Yeah.
they do feel better about themselves. I'm glad you mentioned that because it's so true.
It really is. Like a lipstick can change somebody's whole day. It's amazing. I've seen it so many times.
Like they will literally like light
Yeah.
up,
It's
right?
when you find that perfect nude, when you find that perfect red lipstick, it just makes them feel like the most special thing in the world. And that's really why I do what I do.
That's right. And for you guys who are watching, Anna isn't in all of these things so actively anymore, but she's got clients who still message her, right? Because of all the tips and tricks that she can give advice on. So I'm very
Basically.
proud of that part.
Thanks.
Um, so babe, what are the best parts of your job? Like when you think about the retail industry, what were the ones that you enjoyed the most? And then what were really challenging?
So we can start with the positive.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all of the people that I meet. It's really nice to meet so many different types of people, so
Yeah.
many different types of clients, and not even just your clients, it's your coworkers too. I
Yeah.
was very fortunate where I worked in a Nordstrom where it was very much a family. We took care
Mm,
of each other. We
nice.
never took each other's sales because in the past retail can be very competitive and
Mm,
it's all commission
yeah.
and you have to fight tooth and nail. But I really appreciated where I started because we had such a great ethic. So that's something I really enjoyed. I got a few lifelong friends out of it. So I'm very thankful for that. And just the exposure, especially if you work for the right brand, you can really get the best education. So I'm fortunate enough to work for a brand called Charlotte Tilbury. She is taken over. She will be all over the Philippines. Sure enough, she just hit Singapore. She just hit Italy. She really believes that a lipstick can change the world. And I really believe in her philosophy. And it's really what drew me to her company in the first place.
Mhm.
So if you work for a brand like that, you really get the top notch education, you get the support, you get all of that love. And I would say, if we're talking about the opportunities that I had in retail, so I went from being a artist when I first got at Charlotte 3 years ago. And then a year into my career, I was promoted to business manager.
Wow.
And it was really hard because we were going against our grand opening numbers. So that was a really big challenge for me, having to exceed an $800,000 counter from the previous year to 900,000 or a million. And
Wow.
we were not getting the same repeat business. So that was very difficult. And I had a very different team.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the challenges that I faced.
Yeah.
However, I was lucky enough again to have really great support.
Nice.
But after a year into that role, I just kind of knew that it really wasn't what I wanted to do
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody knows this, but our mom did get sick. So it was kind of a opportunity that God gave me to step back and step into another salesperson role. So I was very fortunate that Nordstrom was very supportive in all of this. So it was good. And I definitely think that that was also a challenge for me, having to balance whether or not my career was going to be more important or my family. So
Wow.
ultimately, I chose family, and that's what led me here, really.
Yeah, yeah. And no regrets
Yeah.
for sure, Anna,
No regrets.
right? I
None.
love
None at all.
it. I
Yeah. I've
love
learned
it.
so much. Yeah.
And I, you know what? I just want to touch on what you just quickly said, because a lot of times we feel like we're on this career and we're on this path and that's it. And once something
Yeah.
hits it, we feel kind of worried because, oh my goodness, what's going to happen now, right? That anxiety hits us. But you touched on the fact that, with God's guidance, right, with prayer, you kind of help yourself, and
Basically,
you have that chance to kind of, what is the word, like
have
a
discernment.
reality check, no?
Yeah. Great
Right.
reality check.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I regret nothing about that job. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. I met the best people. I am still really good friends with a lot of my bosses. So it wasn't on bad terms that I left.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to work for a drastic life change. And I couldn't give 110% anymore because I had to focus on my mom,
Yeah.
basically.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because as you go through life, really priorities come into play.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so happy that you mentioned how you also retain the friendships, because I
Yeah.
think that's so important, right? We
Really
always
is.
look for a job, and sometimes, a lot of times, people are so fixated on the dollar amount, the money,
Yep.
and at the end of the day, what is that money when you're not having fun with your coworkers, right?
Like, what is it? It just creates animosity, it
Yeah,
creates tension.
yeah.
Everybody labels you as a shark. It's not fun, not cute. Yeah. It's not fun to not be a team player in cosmetics.
So I want to shift a little bit, Anna. My husband and I were fortunate enough to be in the States for the majority of COVID. And we spent a good couple of months at Anna and Jan's place. So Anna, I know you had a lot of different activities, but can you talk to us about what kept you busy really during the lockdown?
Like organizing and sorry, interior designing. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead. So Anna
Yeah,
and I would hit Home Goods and right.
and Target and every other home organization place. It was where we lived. It's where I pashaled instead of malls. Like,
Yes, yes, that's right.
I'm actually so thankful in a lot of ways for COVID because it made us, me and Jan, take a step back.
Yeah,
We got to really spend time with family. We got to spend time when you guys were here, undivided. I
yeah.
got to really organize our house. And Jan and I have been married for 3 years now. And I really honestly could tell you I could not give a crap about how my house looked before.
Yeah.
I was just happy there was a couch and a bed and a TV and my makeup desk. I was
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I just never had the energy to put in all of the love into making a home because I was working all the time. And I had if you guys know LA, traffic is really awful. So I would spend hours in my car commuting 20 miles. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. Uh, so that's definitely an activity that I've enjoyed the most during COVID is
Yeah.
interior designing. Yeah.
I love it. And I see, Anna, the little touches in your background, which is, oh my goodness. I know
I
you.
know. Who is she with that flower? And then the freaking, where is it? The picture frame with Jan and I.
Yes, yes. Even the rug, I mean, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Oh
But I
man.
guess, taking COVID, and I know we all started with a little bit of anxiety about how it
Sure.
is going to change things, right?
Yeah.
But then adjusting to the reality and making the most of it, Anna, I
Yeah.
think it's a very good thing that you did.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And just like overall not letting my fear get the better of me, because I was so paranoid in the beginning that I was wiping down groceries. I was like, because you just had no information about how COVID was transmitted. You didn't know exactly how aggressive it was or if it really was just a numbers game. So
Yeah.
I was so anxious. It was before you guys had come. I was so anxious. I didn't go out at all.
Right.
And then I just kind of shifted that mindset. I stopped reading everything. I stopped
Yeah.
focusing on the negative, and I just started focusing on what was going on in my home and what I could control. And that helped me significantly.
I bet. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really good because I think it's now the year, and I think I've seen some of my friends starting to post, them taking walks around their neighborhood, getting
Yeah.
sun, getting
Yeah.
vitamin D and vitamin C, and
Yep.
just really managing the reality along with the fear because
Yes.
right, if you have fear overtake it,
Yes.
what's gonna happen, right?
You're just going to freak out and spiral, and you're going to think every time you cough, you have COVID when that's not.
True.
And I
That's
know it's scary and I know it's unknown and I know we still have to be safe. We wear a mask, we sanitize, we Lysol ourselves every time we go out. We do take the precautions, but we do still try to stay at home as much as we can. We
right.
barely, even though restaurants are open in LA, we do not go out. So yeah, we're managing okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to share as far as maybe plans are concerned?
Plans for like what's next in my life now
Yeah.
that I'm 30.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely, this time has given me a lot to think about in my
Mm,
future. So
mm.
I was planning to go back to school this year. And so I was able to do that. And that has been
Wow.
really refreshing. I've been easing my way in. And this semester, I took it kind of easy just to
Yes.
see how I would do. And I'm doing pretty okay. So I think
Nice.
next semester, I'll step up and I'll keep leveling up
Mm-hmm.
based on my comfort. And it's great now because I can do my classes online and be home
Yeah.
and still be safe, which is really nice. My next step would definitely be one, supporting myself through design because I really want to do graphic design and marketing for companies, beauty companies in particular,
Wow.
or even helping and using that degree to help Jan with his food business and his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So having the time to allot that for my next steps is really what I'm focusing on. And I'm trying to envision the 5-year goal and the 10-year goal. And it's something that I never did in my 20s. I just kind of rolled with the punches in my 20s and I
Yeah.
had a fun time and I just had no real direction when I was in my 20s.
Wow. Wow. Interesting, Anna. But so if that's the case, would you have any advice for those who are what in their early 20s
Yeah.
thinking of
If I like got to speak to my younger self, I
yeah,
would tell her to just find a goal, stay focused, find what makes you happy.
yeah,
Don't try to conform to what other people think that you should be. Don't try to ever be anything that you're not just to get ahead.
yeah,
Know that no matter what and no matter how hard you work, and if you're kind, you do not have to kiss ass to get ahead. You can get ahead with hard work and you can get ahead with, making those right relationships through your kindness and through your generosity. It doesn't have to be you have to step on somebody to get ahead. And
yeah,
I've learned that because I have gotten ahead because I've been kind and I've worked hard.
yeah,
And I would just give that advice. Don't ever change who you are.
yeah.
Don't kiss ass to get ahead and just work hard and stay laser focused.
Wow.
Because those are, and I did those first two things.
Yeah.
It's just the focus thing for me. I wanted to do so many things in my 20s.
Yes.
I jumped around so much. I had no direction. I had no plan. So I was just kind of going through life. But
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm going into my 30s, I'm a little bit more organized. I'm more structured. I know what I want and I'm going to go for it. And I think that is really going to help you. And it's going to help so many people who are young. now to just go after what they want.
Yeah. Wow, Anna. Those are wonderful, wonderful words for those who are watching, especially the
Yeah,
younger ones, right? Very much influenced by social media. And a
yeah,
lot of times they feel like, okay, if she's successful, then maybe that's what I have to do. But they
yeah,
don't realize that they need to honor themselves enough to take a step back and to take the time to really know who they
yeah,
are, what their skill sets are, and then
yeah.
really pave their own way, right? To be successful in their own way. Those are really good words for them. Before we go towards the end of our little chat, I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the fact that you went back to school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right?
Um, I was super scared.
Yeah.
I am the oldest person in my class, and
You're the ate in your class, not the baby.
yeah, it's very weird, but it's really nice too to see this next generation of kids. One person, like two of these people that I was in a group chat, like group Zoom with,
Yeah.
as our professor broke us up in groups, they
Yeah.
said they hoped that out of their college experience, they become the best versions of themselves.
Wow.
And they're 18 and 19-year-olds. And at 19, I definitely didn't think that way. So
Yeah.
I was really impressed at the maturity.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so that's been interesting. And I was really scared to go back to school, and I don't necessarily believe that school is something as essential as it was before,
Yes.
but I definitely think it helps, and I definitely think that even though you may not have a degree, as long as you're experienced and you work hard, take those classes that you want to improve your skill on, take those classes that'll help you further your career. It will really benefit you in the end. It might not be a bachelor's degree, because I understand that not everybody can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it in my early 20s because I had to work and I was kind of thrown in.
Yeah.
So I can understand where people get kind of lost, but
Yeah.
just value those classes and value those professors that give you your time, because once you're out there, it's really, you have to learn for yourself, and not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think education is super important,
Yeah.
whether it be an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, getting your certification in something, it really goes a long way.
Wow, that's awesome that you say that because I can imagine how a lot of people are going through life feeling like it's too late. It's too
Yeah,
late to go back to school. It's too late to take a degree. It's even too late for me to take a certificate course because I'll be the oldest.
right. It's intimidating, and I get it, but once you get past it and you're just focused on your goal and what you're there for, all the stuff doesn't matter. It's just great. Just see it for what it is. That's the best thing that I've taken out of it.
I'm so proud of that courage that you know that you mustered to
Yeah.
take it on, Anna. That's really amazing. Because one of the things that I always tell those who kind of are scared, it's really about your own journey, right?
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
and if you don't muster the courage, then in the end, what are you gonna regret? You don't want to be waking up when you're 60
Yeah.
thinking, I should
You're
have.
I know. And I feel that too. And I feel like even if you feel like school isn't for you, give it a chance. And if it's not for you, then at least you tried.
Good,
That's really what I'm doing.
good.
I don't know if school is necessarily for me, but I'm trying it, and let's see if it takes me somewhere, and I'll be really happy if it does. And if not, I know then to shift my focus.
Yeah.
But I have always felt like I missed out on that because I chose not to,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I didn't know what I wanted and I had to work.
Right.
So yeah, it's really nice that I get a chance to do that now.
Cool, cool. Because sometimes we want a break from the world, right? World, give
Yeah,
me a break, right? But then here you are saying that you're giving yourself your own break. You know, you're
yeah,
giving yourself that chance that you want to try this. I love it. That's really amazing. And I hope it empowers others who are listening to really also take a chance on what they want to do, whether it's school or whether it's applying for a job that sometimes,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
there are also those people who graduated from a degree but really that's not what they want,
yeah. It's
you know,
very true. See
right?
it all the
Yeah.
time in makeup. I have worked with people with bachelor's
Very
degrees and
true.
masters, even in cosmetics,
Right.
and they are not doing what they want to do, or they went into cosmetics because they love beauty and they love
Yeah.
helping people. So you have that spectrum too, which is why beauty is so important to me, and I think it is something I'm very passionate about, and it's something I do see myself going back to,
Mm-hmm.
but just later in a different setting, in a
Yes.
corporate setting. That's the goal.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
love how how in your journey, specific journey, you went into cosmetics, really got into the nitty-gritty. But then
Yeah.
now, because marketing, because you're realizing that marketing is, and it is your forte. So guys, the ones who are looking at my Instagram account, when you see those sayings, Anna, help me with that, right? So I love how you're now able to say, I've got this experience in cosmetics. I know what the buyers want. And this
Yep.
is the look that's going to make it happen for your brand. Because
Exactly.
really, I think that's a really good place that you're coming from. Love it.
Yeah, it definitely helps. So even if you like never, it goes back to that, never feel like you're wasting your time, never feel like any experience is worth having.
Yeah.
Even if you are in retail, even if you're in customer service, it's going to teach you so much more than somebody fresh out of college with no work experience.
Yes.
It comes in handy in so many different situations. Even in your personal life, it will really enrich you and it'll make you a better person if you let it.
I love all of the things that you pointed out. I bet
Thanks.
everybody who's listening have also a better, a fresh perspective on what kind of, yeah, right? What kind of journey is it when you go through cosmetics, when you go through retail?
If you feel like you want more, then go back to school.
Yeah.
It's really your own journey. And I really can't, I'm really happy that you emphasize that because everybody will tell you, you should go to school, you should do this, you follow this, and you'll be making money and you'll be so happy for the rest of your life. And that's just not how it always goes. Have faith that your journey will be different and that it's meant to go that way.
Before we end, Anna,
Yeah.
may I ask? I mean, you mentioned have faith, right? Have faith in your journey. How
Yeah.
does that how does that in practical terms, I suppose? How do you marry faith in your journeying?
Um, a lot of the times
Yeah.
when I feel like things are unknown or I feel like things are out of my control, I often get really anxious before.
Yeah.
Now, when things aren't going my way or when things aren't supposed to go the way that I wanted them to, I just remember that we're on this earth for a purpose that God has given us and really trusting that and really praying about it when times are hard and praying about it when times are good. That's really the best practical advice that I can give. And just when you have anxiety, take a deep breath because a deep breath can save you so much more emotions. It's
True.
really practical and it's really simple. Take a few deep breaths, find your outlet, find what grounds you, and hold on to that. That's how I would say that I've held on to my faith, whether it be in my early teens when I had music and church, whether it be in my 20s when I had my friends.
Mm.
Now in my 30s, I have my husband, and it's all because of God. And know that it just happens that way.
I love it. Anna, that's so inspiring. So,
Thanks.
guys, we've heard it directly from Anna, all the way from LA. This is
Yeah.
so special. I love it, babe. So, thank you again so much for spending this time with us. I really loved all the sharing. I know a lot of people are going to be enjoying bits and pieces, if not this whole interview. If you guys have any questions for Anna, just put it in the comments section and I will get it to her and she can reply. All right.
And PM, I'm always open to chat.
Perfect. So it's so interesting too because now I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, she really isn't the baby sister anymore.
I know. I spent a lot of my life not speaking, so this is very different.
Very good. So you guys listening, you know what she's talking about, especially when you're the youngest.
Yep.
But
When you are the bunso of the family, it is very hard.
but your day will come, guys. Your day will come and you will
Yeah.
find your voice. Hold
Yeah.
on to that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So take care, babe. I'll see you again soon. I love
I love
you.
you. Bye.
Bye.